Hello everyone and welcome back to another tutorial on how to make some custom cars. Today we're going to be making blue Gremlin with headset, two of the black paster with white stripes, and turning Nelson blind spot back there into a police car. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing you gotta do is drill out the bases of all of these cars. It takes a little bit to drill out the rivets, you just need some patience. And then what you do, you sand down all the bodies of these cars, then put them outside in a very well ventilated area. As you can see, I have a fan up there, and the door is also open. And then you get your can of primer. The one I use is enamel primer by Testers. I bought this at Hobby Lobby for like $8. Then you spray them all. Now, specifically for Acer, he has this like green plastic part that you also are going to need to spray, prime it. And for Grem, what you're going to have to do is kind of tape over the eyes and all of the back window as well, so that you can be able to prime this part, turn it from orange to, in this case I'm using blue, but that's going to be later on. So let's get to priming. I'm not going to record this part because I need
steely focus
and my hands to be free, so I will be right back.
Later that same evening.
Alrighty then, so we're back inside now, and since these are all done being primed up and they are done drying, I left them outside for like about 5 hours or so to dry, and I went to go spend some time with the family. But here we have Acer. I like how the gray came out on this one. I might actually, like, in the future, get another Acer and make like a gray and red kind of pacer. I think that might look nice. Here is it with the bottom portion on. There you go. Now it might just be my eyes, but I think that there's like a tiny little discrepancy in the shade of gray on the plastic versus the metal. That it might just be me, but here is the plastic part by itself. Now don't worry that you can still see some green. Once it's put all back together, you won't be able to see it. Now in the middle we have Nelson Blind Spot, who's going to be the police car. And honestly, I think this is my favorite, just because I've never tried to make a custom that was my own idea using the airbrush. Recently I've just been working on, you know, customs that are inspired from cars, like from the actual movie. But the inspiration I am using from this one is the piston cup security guards, in terms of like how it's gonna look. But the final one over here, what is gonna be blue Gremlin with headset, there is how it looks all primered up. For some reason my camera just doesn't want to focus on Acer and Grem models. I have no idea why not. But what I'm gonna do tomorrow is these three that are right here, these three, I'm going to give them the white undercoat, because for him, he needs the sides to be white, the doors to be white, and then I need the white stripes on both Acers. And then while these ones are drying, I'm going to give this one a coat of this blue. Now, I bought this blue originally when I was restoring my Tokyo Mater diecast. The problem is, this isn't the correct blue. For some reason on the website it said that it was one shade, but they sent me this shade, which the numbers are all correct. Like this is the same number product as the one that they put on there. I don't know what happened, but I kept it because it was only like $1 or something. And the perfect thing is that this is the exact same blue that I need for the Gremlin over there. Now, speaking of the Gremlin, here is how the top part came out. I did put tape on the back window and all the windows and on the eyes so that we can keep all of that. And then I'll show you guys how I make the headset later on. I'm thinking of using a just a paper clip and then a little bit of clay. Nothing fancy. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow to go paint all of these. Alright, so to start off the painting side of things, I'm going to start with the blue Gremlin with headset, just because this is easier to do than the other 3 cars. Right now, I just need to give it probably just like 1 or 2 coats of this blue paint, and then when I'm done this, I got to go in like with a black Sharpie to kind of do the grill, do all of that stuff. And yeah, that's pretty much it. The paint I'm using is Master Series Paint Core Colors. Here is the number 09264, light blue is what it is. That's the website right down there. So I'm about to get started painting, and I'll see you guys once he has been given the first coat. Now, if you are doing this project, I do recommend that you do use a reducer. The one that I use is Creatix Colors 4011 reducer. It is water-based. You can get it for maybe like $5 to $8 at Hobby Lobby or maybe Michael's or any other like craft and hobby shop around you. Because this light blue paint that I used, it came out feeling really like matte and kind of chalky after, so I assume that it's going to be fixed once I do put the clear coat on. But yeah, just be aware that you might want to reduce it with the reducer before you do apply the paint. Okay, so I was able to paint the Gremlin right here. In my opinion, it looks really nice. If we can focus, please. Thank you, that would be nice. Yeah, it came out looking pretty good. Now, as I did mention, it did kind of come out feeling really matte and dry. It was kind of chalky at first, but now it's more matte than anything. Now, for this part, unfortunately, the airbrush kind of did get clogged, so here is the reducer that I would recommend. Don't do what I do. Learn from my mistakes. Actually use the reducer. That's why you buy it. Now, so this part I had to paint with a brush, just a regular hand painting technique, and then that's the little cup that I used to pour the paint in. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to add the clear coat, and then we can start working on this beauties right down here. So for me, it's going to be a couple hours, but for you guys, it is right now. So this right here is the blue Gremlin with headset. Well, I haven't made the headset yet, but I think it came out looking really nice. I just used the paint pens a little bit and Sharpies to do the other details. Now, I'm not sure if I do want to do the little eyeliner thing. I might not, because the actual blue Gremlin with headset has brown eyes, while this Grem, as you can see, here's Grem in the background, has green eyes. So I might have to print out a new decal, but that'll come later if I do decide to. The other thing is, I need to go clear coat this and then make the headset itself. So let's go to the shed to clear coat. Welcome back to the shed. We are going to be using the Tester Spray Enamel to clear coat this guy. Now, there are 2 different clear coats that you can get from Testers. There is the enamel, and then there is the lacquer. The one I recommend is this one, the Spray Enamel. You can get it at Hobby Lobby for about $8.29, or maybe Michael's or any other like craft and hobby store. But yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute after I clear coat this.
Okay, so the clear coat has been applied, and I still have the mask on because it does have a bit of a stench and stink to it. I don't want to breathe that in because I don't need to get sick right now. So you can kind of see how shiny it is right there. It looks beautiful in my opinion. Now, I'm going to leave this in here in the shed to dry for about 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to put this box on top of it so it doesn't get all dusty. You guys can see the cobwebs back there. So yeah, make sure you always do this. If you're doing it in a spot that is like dusty or spidery, put a box or something over it so it doesn't get all messed up.
Later that same evening.
Okay, so I am back in the shed to see how this thing came out. Let's see. Okay, so my biggest worry was that, like, the paint would start cracking if I used that primer, but no. The primer worked wonders. That looks nice. Let's turn the flashlight off so we can get a better look at it. Never thought you'd hear that, would you? Yeah, no, it came out looking really good. How about the top? Top looking snazzy. There we go. Yeah, no, it feels smooth too. That's great. Wow. Alright, yeah, so now let's go back to the desk. Okay, so originally I was going to come back to the desk and talk about the headset, but I have to go to Dollar Tree to actually go get some clay to make the headset, so that will be in a minute. But right now what I'm about to go do is paint these 3 cars white. Originally, is this the paint? No, that's the clear coat. Here it is. So originally I was going to use this one, right? But I don't know, the consistency, it's just too liquidy, and just because I don't really want anything to go wrong right now, what I'm going to do is use one of the paints that came with the airbrush itself, which I believe that they're already ready to go. This one, made by Elvaga, airbrush paint white. I believe there's also a pearly white in here. Yeah, right in there, there's pearly white. Those are the colors. Now, the way I know that this one will work is because I already used it, the green one that's right there for this Chick Hicks. So I'm pretty sure that this white paint will work for these 3. So let's go back to the shed and start painting. Alrighty then, so we are here in the shed, and I brought a tripod outside so that maybe I can record while painting. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to try my best to get you guys some good footage. So, what I do, usually, I come out to the shed, and I'll first obviously untangle the hose, because that would be bad if it was tangled, and then turn this on, right, that's the air compressor, test it out, make sure it is blowing correctly. I have gloves on, as you can see there. Yep, seems like it is working and blowing correctly. Then you gotta check the inside of the airbrush, make sure nothing is in there, make sure it's good. See that little needle inside there? You gotta make sure it is able to turn back. There we go. Come on. You can kind of see it. So, who do we start with? Let's start with the biggest one. Let's start with Nelson, since he is my favorite out of the 3. So we set him up right here. I got the helping hands little apparatus down here. And also, make sure that you are wearing a mask when you do this. Let me show you the one I've got on right here. This is a painter's mask. It's very important that you have this and that you're in a very well ventilated area. I do have the shed door open over here. It is kind of raining, so hopefully the rain doesn't get in here. It shouldn't. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I'm not going to be talking while I'm painting, so I guess I'll put some like music in the background.
Alrighty then, so these three have been painted white, as you saw, mainly with Nelson Blind Spot. For some reason, the paint was kind of like cracking, or just kind of left like blotches on the front. I don't know why. I have no idea why. But both of the pasters came out looking nice though. So I'm going to leave these in here to dry for about a couple hours, and then later tonight, I will come back, see how they're doing, and then I gotta tape them off and then paint them black. So, I'll be right back. Alrighty, welcome back to the shed. So I have all of the cars taped off already, as you can see. Those three. And I'm about to start painting. This is the one that I'm using. Ovaga Airbrush Paint Black. Here's the airbrush itself. It's hot in here. It's like 81 degrees out, but this shed, apart from the ventilation up there, does not have an AC. So, yeah, I gotta make this quick before I burn it here. So, yeah, I'll show you guys how they turn out once I'm done. Alright, that was like way too easy to do. I guess this airbrush and this paint are literally like a match, because that was the easiest thing I have ever done. The black just looks amazing on these. So I'm going to let them here to dry, and then I'll come back later, check on them, see if they're dried. If they are, we're going to apply the clear coat, and then we'll go back inside to do the decals. So for you guys, it's going to be like a second. For me, it's going to be a couple hours. Alrighty then, welcome back to the shed. So I usually put a box over this to let it dry, and then I'll come out the same day, like at night, to bring it back inside. This time I left it here overnight. I have no idea if that did something to the paint or not, because it was pretty hot all night. I think it was like in the 80s last night, so yeah, but I do have the clear coat right here, so let's take off this box to see how it all turned out. Honestly, okay, good. Nothing happened to it. I'm glad. They all look really nice. Wow. Very, very nice. It's a piece of speckled dust on there. Wow. Okay, so right now I gotta take off the tape and then add the clear coat. Alright, so I took off the tape, and it appears that it's not the best idea to take off the tape when these cars are still kind of hot from being outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside, and with a regular just brush, I'm going to go ahead and fix these things up. Make sure that this is all white, make sure the top is fine, and then these two need some serious painting, as you can see there. So yeah, let's go back to the desk. Alright, so I gave all three of them a little touch up, and I think it came out pretty nice. Here's this one right there. Here is this one. I might need to do a little more work on this one, because this is the one that's going to be sold. And then here is the police car. Again, he's my favorite one out of the four, including Mr. Blue Gremlin over here. So, yeah. We're almost done. Just gotta wait for these to dry, and then I'm gonna go add the clear coat, and then we can move to the decals for this guy. Alrighty, so I'm back in the shed, and I already clear coated these. I didn't record it, but yeah, these look pretty shiny, pretty nice. There you go. All looking nice and snazzy. So let's go back to the desk to talk about the decals for this guy, because these two are already done. Alright, so I haven't put the decals on yet, but here is what I'm thinking it's going to look like. I've already printed out all the decals. So we got the police on the side, 911 in the back, police on the top, and a police in white on the front right there. And in the back, we have police 911, and then here is a better look at the front. So I'm going to go back to the shed to clear coat these decals now.
Alrighty, so we have the decals printed out and clear coated already, so I'm about to cut them out. I'm not going to record me cutting them out because I need to have
Steely focus.
So yeah, I will be right back with all of these cut out. Okay, so after cutting out the decals, I dipped them in the water so I could apply them to the car. The problem is, when I grabbed the decal, it kind of smudged, and then I tried it with a different one, and that one also smudged off. So the problem is that the clear coat application, I didn't apply it the right way, it seems like. And I actually used a different clear coat this time, so that might be another reason why. So I'm gonna go reprint the decals and then use the clear coat that I used in the chick case video. The problem is that one is really stinky. It left my room smelling like toxic chemicals for at least a week. So yeah. Okay, so usually I like to do these in order, but while I'm still figuring out that entire mess, I want to show you guys what I made here. So here is a custom packaging that I made for Ashton Pacer. We got the Cars 2 logo up there, my logo, animated image of him that I crudely made, Ashton Pacer name tag, and then him inside the little bubble. I hot glued it there. Looks really nice. Mattel logo down there, ages 3 plus, and on the back, this is probably my favorite part, my logo, new for 2025, an image of the diecast itself as seen in Cars 2. Alright everybody, welcome back to the shed. It's been like 2 months, and I've just been working on other customs, and this project just took a back seat, as I said in one of the previous clips. But we're going to be clear coating the decals here today, and I learned from my mistake last time, right? So what I have to do now is spray the clear coat, right? Even sprays. Let it sit for at least 30 minutes to an hour. Come back and do that 2 more times, right? So I'm using the Tester Spray Enamel from Hobby Lobby. I paid $8.29 for it, and this is the same clear coat that I used to clear coat the cars when I actually paint them. So yeah, I'm gonna clear coat these, and I will see you back at the desk so we can apply the decals. Alright everybody, welcome back to the desk. Now, I was just applying the decals to the police car, and I completely forgot that I was making a video about this too. So yeah, the decal process and everything worked as you saw in the last clip. I was in the shed clear coating these, and now I am applying them. I will throw a little time lapse in here of me applying them as well. So right here I'm applying something called Decal Set onto the decal itself after I already apply it on the car, and this pretty much allows the decal to kind of melt into the metal, into the die cast there, so that it can look smooth and like a part of the car. Finally, this guy has his decals police, is what it says all over. There's the back. all I gotta do now is clear coat the car again, of course, because I put the decals on, and figure out what I'm gonna do about this light bar situation. Originally, I was gonna take the one from Deputy Hazard McQueen, but it is a little too big, and now I'm kind of thinking of using the one from Race and Rescue McQueen here. I'm not quite sure. I'm gonna have to paint it red and blue if I do use it. But yeah, not sure what to do about that. But here is all of the cars that we have made so far. Painted. The ones that need decals have decals. Also, I want to mention I've actually made 2 more of these guys for 2 of my friends, which I will be sending them to them pretty soon. This one is staying here inside the package right here on the desk. It's going to be right up there next to the Crash McQueen's packaging. And then this one I have for sale on eBay if you would like to buy it. The link will be in the description below. And yeah, all I have to do now is make the headset for this guy and get a light bar for this guy. This video will be over. So let's go do that. Alright, so in terms of the light bar, I just sculpted a piece of milliput right here. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to sand it down to make it the correct shape and everything, just to like refine it, and then paint it. I'm going to do just a simple red and blue, the same as the Deputy Hazard McQueen. It's going to look pretty much like that. And then I will glue it onto this police car. Here is how it fits. So it will be covering the hole on the top there. There you go. It will cover it. Pretty much. But yeah. I will be back once this thing is dried, so we can go and sand it and then paint it. Alrighty then, so it is now the next day, and this thing has dried. I have some paint pens right here, and I'm going to paint this little block into a siren. There we go, we have it all painted. Now I'm either going to use tacky glue, super glue, or hot glue to put it on the top there. So yeah, I'll be back once it's all connected. So here he is, the final version of the police car. Here is a side-by-side of the art I did at the beginning and the IRL one. There you go. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love the fact that these decals are just so crisp and clear. It's just amazing. There's still a little bit of hot glue down here from when I hot glued the base back together. There's the base. The base is still kind of dirty, but like you're not going to see the base anyway. You're just going to see the car itself. I am really, really happy with how this guy came out. And let's grab a couple of the other guys right here. There you go. Next up, and finally, we are going to be doing the headset for Blue Gremlin with headset. Okay, so here's how I am doing this, right? I just took the headset from Grem with headset, right? I know some of y'all might get mad at me for doing this, but this guy's all messed up already. If, you know, later on in life, I might end up getting another, the Grem with camera and all that. But what I'm doing is I pretty much just cut it like right there. And now I'm going to glue it back together like this. Because originally it was like this. So it was on this side. But again, I'm going to do it like this. Glue it together so that we can put it on the correct side. So I'll be back when that's done. Alrighty then, here we have Mr. Blue Gremlin with headset finally complete. Grem over there looking sad since I stole his headset. But yeah, that's really it. That's going to conclude today's custom tutorial. This video has been, I want to say, 5 to 6 months in the making. A huge thank you to everybody who watched this video all the way through, and to everyone who gave me tips and tricks on how to make some of these customs. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I am so proud of all of these customs right here, especially a blue gremlin with headset. He was actually the first one that I got done, just without the headset, and in turn, the first like airbrushed custom that I ever made. So yeah, that's really it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your favorite YouTuber, Rusty's95, signing out. Bye! Bye, everybody. I only got 20 seconds for this outro. I promise you that I won't go so slow. Make sure you subscribe to Rusty's95. Comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share.